friends and welcome to Pendulum Media. Today we'll be discussing the daily current affairs of 30 July 2020. So guys, quickly join the session and also ask your friends to join this session. And those who have not subscribed to our channel Pendulum Media, please subscribe it and do not forget to press the bell icon to receive notifications. So let's start. First news is International Tiger Day is celebrated every year on 29 July. And this day is celebrated to spread awareness about tiger conservation. The day was adopted during the 2010 St. Petersburg Tiger Summit, and in this summit, the heads of governments of tiger range countries they vote to double the tiger population by the year 2022. So during the summit, the countries they decided to double the tiger population by the end of year 2022, but India has achieved this target 4 years ahead, that is in 2018 itself. Union Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar, he recently released All India Tiger Estimation Report 2018, and this estimation has been recorded in the Guinness World Book of Records because India has achieved the target of doubling tiger population in 2018 itself. India accounts for about 70% of the global tiger population and it leads the world in effective conservation of wild species. India has also launched the Project Tiger in 1973 for the conservation of tigers, and at that time 9 tiger reserves were established in the country for the conservation of tiger, and this number has now increased. Apart from tigers, India is also home to 30,000 elephants, 3,000 single-horned rhinos and over 500 lions. India leads around 8% of world diversity despite the scarcity of physical resources. Now moving to the question part, International Tiger Day is celebrated every year on which day? Quickly comment the correct answer. 20 July, 29 July, 26 July and 27 July. Quickly comment the correct answer. What will be the correct answer for this? Yes, option B will be the correct answer. Moving forward, 5th annual meeting of Board of Governors of AIIB concluded through video conferencing. So recently the 5th annual meeting of the Board of Governors of Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, it was concluded through video conferencing. So first of all, let us know something about Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. So it is a multilateral development bank and its mission is to improve social and economic outcomes in Asia. It started operating in January 2016 and its headquarters are located in Beijing, China. And now the total members in AIIB are 102. And one more important thing that apart from AIIB, New Development Bank, it also has its headquarters in China. Then SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, its headquarters are also located in China. And BRICS, the acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, this group, its headquarters are also located in Shanghai, China. Okay, now coming back to the news, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman from India attended the meeting via video conference in New Delhi. On this occasion, the Finance Minister referred to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's initiative to create COVID-19 emergency fund for SAARC countries. So the fund which was created for COVID-19 for SAARC countries, so that was discussed during this occasion. And talking about SAARC, so SAARC is a regional cooperation. It is a regional cooperation of South Asian countries which are located in the Indian Ocean and nearby region. So this SAARC includes India, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Bangladesh, then Nepal, Pakistan, Afghanistan and Maldives. So 8 countries are associated. Therefore its name is South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation. Okay. Now during the meeting mainly 2 points were discussed: election of President of Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank and also a roundtable discussion on the theme AIIB 2030 supporting Asia's development over the next decade. So basically the role of AIIB in supporting Asia's development in the next 10 years. So that was also discussed during the roundtable discussion, and the president of AIIB was also elected. So Jin LeQuan, I would say it's Jin LeQuan. So Jin LeQuan, he has been re-elected. He has been re-elected as the president of AIIB. So since AIIB is in news, so you should know its president. So he has been re-elected as the president of AIIB. He is Jin LeQuan. Now moving forward to the question part, in which country is the headquarters of Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank located? Malaysia, India, China and Nepal. Quickly comment the correct answer. Where are the headquarters of Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank located? Quickly comment the correct answer. The correct answer is option C, that is China. Moving forward, mini trucks were sent from India to Bangladesh for the very first time. Recently, for the first time, 15 mini Tata trucks from India have been sent to Bangladesh. And before this, a parcel train carrying chili from Andhra Pradesh also reached Bangladesh on 13 July. The first container train carrying 50 containers in FMCG products and other items recently came to Benapur railway station in Bangladesh. So recently, many exchanges have taken place between India and China, and mostly you can say we can see over here that the trade route is opening, and the trade relation between the two countries are enhancing in some or the other way. Also, yesterday we studied that India has given 10 diesel engines to Bangladesh for use in passenger and cargo services in the country. Railway cooperation between India and Bangladesh has grown considerably in the last few years. India has extended a line of credit of over $2.4 billion for 17 railway projects, of which 9 have been completed. So what is this line of credit? So line of credit, in this a predefined limit is there. Okay, let's suppose that the predefined limit of borrowing is rupees 5 crore, let us say. Okay, so a country or any individual, he can, under the line of credit scheme, he can at any time withdraw or borrow this amount, and amount should not exceed rupees 5 crore. So he can withdraw, you can see he can borrow 1 crore at a time, then he's then again borrowing 1.5 crores. So until the limit, this predefined limit is exceeded, till then a person can or a country to which this line of credit is extended, it can borrow that amount. And also in this the timely repayment has to be made, but that repayment is very minimum amount, and also some agreements are there in this line of credit, some terms are there, so that need to be fulfilled. Now moving to the next news, dialogue between defense ministers of India and Indonesia were recently held in New Delhi. The Indian delegation was led by our defense minister, who is that? Rajnath Singh. And while the Indonesian delegation was led by Defense Minister General Prabowo Subianto of Indonesia. During the talks, following points were discussed. So the both countries, they have agreed to further enhance bilateral defense cooperation, and also potential areas of cooperation in defense industries and defense technology were also identified by both the countries. So basically during this meeting, the two countries, they agreed that there is a need to increase the bilateral defense cooperation, and also they identified the areas in which the cooperation can be enhanced by both the countries. Okay. Now let us see a question. Recently, the dialogue between which country's defense minister was held in New Delhi with Indian defense minister? China, Indonesia, Britain and Vietnam. Quickly comment the correct answer. The correct answer is option B, that is Indonesia. Moving forward, so Indonesia, let us know something about Indonesia. It is a country which is located in Southeast Asia and Oceania, between the Indian and Pacific Ocean. So here is Indian Ocean, and over here it is Pacific Ocean. Between the two oceans it is located, and it is located in Southeast Asia. Okay, like here it is India, and to the southeast here it is somewhere, here it is Australia, somewhere here, and then over here it is located. Okay, so this is not the exact location, it is just way to represent. So Indonesia, it is located southeast, in the Southeast Asian region and in Oceania, And this Indonesia, it is made up of 17,000 islands, which includes Sumatra, Java, then Borneo, Sulawesi, New Guinea. So it is made up of such type of islands. The president over here is Joko Widodo. The capital over here is of Indonesia is Jakarta, and the currency is Indonesian rupiah. And also, if you would be remembering, yesterday we discussed something about yesterday or day before yesterday, that the headquarters of ASEAN. Where are the headquarters of ASEAN located? It is in Jakarta, Indonesia, right? So ASEAN is Association of Southeast Asian Nations, and in this 10 nations are there which are located in Southeast Asia, and some of these are Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand. Such type of countries are included in ASEAN. Now moving forward to the next news, Malaysia court sentenced former Prime Minister Najib Razak to 12 years in prison. Recently, the Malaysian court has sentenced a former Prime Minister Najib Razak to 12 years in prison. This conviction was found guilty of crimes related to the robbery of multi-billion-dollar state investment fund. So this conviction was given because he was found guilty of crimes which are related to robbery of multi-billion-dollar state investment funds. And for this reason, his government also fell 2 years ago. Najib Razak is the first Malaysian leader to be sentenced. Talking about Malaysia, it is a Southeast Asian country and it is also part of ASEAN. Capital over is Kuala Lumpur. Currency is Malaysian ringgit, and the current Prime Minister is Muhyiddin Yassin. Okay, Muhyiddin Yassin is the current Prime Minister of Malaysia. Because the question can be asked, Malaysia is in news, so who is the current Prime Minister of Malaysia? Or the name could be given and they can ask like this Prime Minister belongs to which country. Now moving forward, let us see a question. Recently, Najib Razak has been sentenced to 12 years in prison. He was the former Prime Minister of which country? Malaysia, Pakistan, Bahrain and Sweden. Quickly comment the correct answer. Very easy. Just now we read about this. Yes, the correct answer is option A, that is Malaysia. Guys, if you have any doubt, please mention that in comment box and like the video, share it and subscribe to our channel. Now moving forward, India's first solar ferry electric boat Aditya was awarded the Gustave Trove Award. Recently, India's first solar ferry electric boat, which its name is Aditya, it has been awarded the Gustave Trove Award. After the stiff competition from 5 European finalists, Aditya has been selected for the Gustave Trove Award for excellence in electric boats and boating. The ship has been selected as the world's best electric boat in the category of ferry boats designed for paid passenger service. Aditya is capable of seating 75 people. This was built in 2017 by Navalt Solar and Electric Boat based in Kochi for water transport in Kerala. Also, the main attraction of Aditya is its low operating cost. So the operating cost of this boat is very low, and secondly, it is fully solar powered electric boat. Talking about Gustave Trove Award, it is the only international award which is given in 3 categories specifically for electric boats. The award was announced on Trove's 118th death anniversary in Paris. Gustave Trove, he was an inventor and has more than 75 patents to his name. Now moving forward to the question part. What is the name of India's first solar ferry electric boat? Moksh, Aditya, Sangam and Vibhavari. Quickly comment the correct answer. What will be the correct answer for this? Very easy. India's first solar ferry electric boat. This question you will definitely find in some or the other exam. The correct answer is option B, that is Aditya. And one more is there related to Aditya. Aditya L1. This is the solar probe mission of India, or I would say ISRO. Its name is Aditya L1. Okay, so you can remember this. Moving forward to the next news. Famous actress Kumkum died in Mumbai at the age of 86. Her real name was Zebunisa, and she acted in more than 100 memorable films like Mr. X in Bombay, Mother India, Kohinoor, Aankhein Lalkar, Naya Daur, Ujala, Aar Paar, and CID. The credit for bringing Kumkum into the films goes to actor and director Guru Dutt. He was very famous director and actor Guru Dutt. Now let us see a question related to the news. What is true regarding famous actress Kumkum? Kumkum died recently in Mumbai. Her real name was Zebunisa. She acted in films like Mr. X in Bombay, Mother India, Kohinoor, and Aankhein. All of the above is true. So quickly comment the correct answer. Which statement is true regarding actress Kumkum? The correct answer is option D, that is all statements are true. Now moving forward to the next news, National Investigation Agency arrested Hani Babu, who is an associate professor of Delhi University in Bhima Koregaon case. Now he will be produced in a special court in Mumbai. The violent incidents were recorded in 2018 during the celebration of 200th anniversary of Bhima Koregaon battle, and the investigation of this is currently underway. So in 2018 you would have if you remember, you would have seen the news related to the violent incidents which took place during the celebration of Bhima Koregaon battle, and after that many people were arrested, and this was called urban Naxalism. Many professors were arrested, many famous people were arrested during this, and the investigation is currently going on, and during this investigation only the associate professor of Delhi University has been arrested. Bhima Koregaon battle on January 1st, 1818, a battle was fought between the Peshwa and the British forces in Bhima Koregaon, a district of Pune. The British army, which consisted mainly of Dalit soldiers, fought the upper caste dominated Peshwa army. It was one of the last battles of Third Anglo-Maratha War. So you would be remembering Anglo-Maratha War. So it was fought between the British and the Marathas, and it was one of the last battle, this Bhima Koregaon battle, in which the Dalit soldiers participated from the British side. They fought with the upper caste dominated Peshwa army, and they defeated the Peshwa army in this war. So this day is celebrated every year to commemorate that victory. And during the celebration in 2018, the violent incidents took place. Talking about National Investigation Agency, it is a central agency that was established by the Government of India to deal with terror in India. It serves as the central counter-terrorism law enforcement agency. This was established in 2018 after the 26/11 Mumbai attacks. You would be remembering these 26/11 Mumbai attacks. So after this, because it was our total failure of our intelligence system, so after that this National Investigation Agency was established in 2008 by passing an act in the parliament, and its headquarters are located in New Delhi. Now moving forward, let's see a question. In which year was the Battle of Bhima Koregaon fought? 1918, 1808, 1908 and 1818. Quickly comment the correct answer. Question related to battles are asked. Quickly comment the correct answer. When was this Battle of Bhima Koregaon fought? The correct answer is option D, that is 1818. Moving forward, DRDO has launched innovation competition Dare to Dream 2.0. So recently, Defense Research and Development Organization has launched the innovation competition Dare to Dream 2.0. The DRDO announced the scheme on the 5th death anniversary of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who was a renowned scientist and former president of India. The innovation competition was launched to promote individuals as well as startups to use emerging technologies for innovation in the aerospace and defense sectors in the country. And this competition, it will promote or you can say it is a step towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. Atmanirbhar Bharat. Okay. Now moving forward, let's see a question. Recently, the innovation competition Dare to Dream 2.0 has been launched by which organization? DRDO, CSIR, ICMR and NCRT. Very easy question. Quickly comment. One can get confused from that is Dare to Dream. One can connect with NCRT. One can also connect with ICMR. The correct answer is option A, that is DRDO. Now moving forward, you can remember like DRDO and Dare to Dream, D2D. Okay. Now moving forward to the next news, according to a study, many species of flowers that grow on the lower slopes of the Himalayas, they are endangered due to climate change. So first of all, let us understand this concept. So suppose this is a hill, okay, and a particular species it is grown at a, it usually grows at a height of h1, okay. Let us make another mark which is of h2, okay. So at h1 temperature T1 is there, which is perfect for the growth of a particular species S1. But due to climate change, what will happen? The temperature over here, it will increase to T2. Okay, when the temperature is increased, then the choice with this species is that either it has to shift upwards or it has to die. Okay, so if it chooses to move upwards, then it will move to a new height h2. Okay, and here it will get the temperature of T1. So due to climate change, what is happening that the temperature at a particular range which is required, or at a particular height altitude which is required, so that temperature the plant is not getting, that particular conditions are not being availed by that particular species. So the species is in a condition that it has either to move upward to the upward or you can say it has to move to the more height, or it has to die. So this is what happening due to the climate change. Now they have to either move towards higher altitude to maintain their existence, or they have to die. It includes many other flowers including blue poppy, which are found at lower elevations and are currently struggling to maintain survival due to climate change. So let us know something about blue poppy. Its scientific name is Meconopis aculeata. It is considered the queen of Himalayan flowers. It is found at an altitude of 3000 to 5000 meters from Kumaon to Kashmir. So usually it is found at an altitude of 3000 to 5000 meters, and now either it has to shift to a greater height or it has to die. So they are struggling for their survival. So this report, this study, it was recently conducted by Botanical Survey of India. The Botanical Survey of India conducted this study, and they noticed that many species which are growing at the lower slopes of the Himalayas, they are endangered due to climate change. Now let us see a question. Which of the following statements is not true? The scientific name of the blue poppy is Meconopis aculeata. It is found at an altitude of 3000 to 5000 meters from Kumaon to Kashmir. One only, two only, both 1 and 2, and none of the above. Quickly comment the correct answer. You have to tell which statement is not true. Read the statement carefully. The correct answer is option D, that is none of the above, because both statements are true. Now moving forward, IRCTC and SBI Card, they together launched a new co-branded contactless credit card, and this contactless credit card has been launched on RuPay platform. Railway Minister Piyush Goyal has dedicated this new card to the nation. The new form of credit card, it is equipped with near field communication technology. So this near field communication technology, it is you can say wireless technology. First of all, it is a wireless technology. Secondly, this near field communication technology is based on radio frequency. Okay, it uses radio frequency. And third, the contact between the two electronic devices, the distance between the two electronic devices should be 4 centimeter or less than that. Okay, so these are the requirement for near field communication technology, and by using this card, users can speed up their transactions by just simply tapping the card on POS machines, the point of sale machines, which you usually go to the shopping complexes, or nowadays you can see in the marts also, that the POS machines are there, and over that you can simply tap your cards and you can make the payment. So there, that will be contactless payment. The launch of this card is one of the many Make in India activities undertaken by the railways. Okay, now moving forward to the question part. Recently, IRCTC together with which bank launched its new co-branded contactless credit card on RuPay platform? SBI, PNB, Andhra Bank, Punjab and Sindh Bank. Quickly comment the correct answer. What will be the correct answer for this? Very easy. Yes, the correct answer is option A, that is SBI. So friends, here we have covered the daily current affairs and related questions. I hope you are daily following this daily current affairs session. And if you have any doubt, you can mention that in comment box. Please like the video, share it as much as you can, and also subscribe to our channel. You can join us on Telegram also. There is study material for you guys. Keep preparing well. We'll meet you again. Thank you so much.